So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, YUGIOH bringing you my second place Cyber Angel deck profile. Now this is using some of the new support. I had a credible amount of fun playing this deck today. Now, of course, this was second place at locals. It was very, very good. And there's a lot of kind of different engines of this deck. I've tried to put some of the new cards in here. But in all honesty, the best new card isn't actually a Cyber Angel Ritual or a Cyber Angel spell. And I'll show you that when we get to it. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through the entire deck profile, show you what we've got, and then kind of explain to you why we've got what we have. And I'll tell you how kind of my games went throughout today. So we start off with what's pretty standard in all, Cyber Angel decks, and that is triple Ben 10. This card, the fact it's not once per turn, when it's tributed, you add a light fairy type monster from your deck to your hand. It's very rare that you'll put this on the board as an attacking monster. It is usually used as fodder for like Herald and Zephyr and stuff like that. For the rest, we've got the one Idata, and this is just to push your ritual monsters over the top. Now, when you use this as ritual summoning fodder, or if tributed, obviously, it can make all ritual monsters you control gain 1,000 attack and defense. So very, very good and powerful. One Dakini, and the Dakini is really, really cool as well. When it's special summon, you make your opponent send one monster they control, so they choose that on targeting, non-destruction as well. Then if a ritual monster you control attacks a defensive monster, inflict piercing battle damage. But then what you got to remember is once per turn during your end phase, you can target one ritual monster or machine angel ritual in your graveyard and add it back to hand, so you can just loop your Ben 10. It's really, really cool. The one Vrash. Vrash is your game winner. This is if your opponent is all about heavy summoning from the extra deck. When it's ritual summoned, you destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible that was special summoned from the extra deck, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each. And if you do that, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card on the field, you shuffle one ritual monster from your graveyard into the deck, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So it's very, very nice protection. It is your big beat boss monster. Then we've got one of the brand new card, and that is Cyber Angel Azana. It kind of does what Dakini does, but it makes your opponent send a spell or trap. The issue with these two cards is it doesn't let you choose. Like if it let you choose, so if it's like non-targeting, but if it was like send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard, that's great. But it actually says you make your opponent send one spell or trap card they control to the graveyard. So I believe it makes them choose. Dakini specifically says their choice. So the Izana is pretty cool as well. But it makes your opponent send one spell trap card, so it kind of means that they have to send it. That's the downside to it. The other downside to it as well is, so if it destroys a monster by battle, it can make a second attack, but it has to be to another opponent's monster, which is, again, not that great. And then the other card is, the other effect is quick effect. If a card, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Cyber Angel ritual monster you control, quick effect, shuffle one ritual monster from your graveyard into the deck, and if you do, destroy one card your opponent controls. So again, that's very, very disappointing because it doesn't actually negate the target effect or anything like that. It's not a great card, and in all honesty, I would probably take her out for the next card. And the next card is, this card is so good, so underrated, and that is Cyber Angel Natasha. This card is unbelievably good. So you ritual summon this card with Machine Angel Ritual. In the past, it was very, very awkward because of its level, but now we've got the incantations, you don't worry about it at all. So once per turn, you target one face-up monster you control, gain life points equal to half its attack. So if you're in time, and you can only make Natasha, you make Natasha, and as long as you've got another monster on board, you use the effect, target that, gain your half, that's it, you've won the game. When a ritual monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, not once per turn either. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one other Cyber Angel monster from the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls. Special summon this card, and if you do, take control of that monster. Again, not once per turn. So if your opponent had a monster that could be targeted or anything like that, you would use Natasha, bring that back, take it, and go again. I actually won a game with Natasha, so I was playing like pure Mech Knights, and the guy made the link free, and then he misplayed a little bit, but he put a card to a zone that the link 3 pointed to, so I was able to use Natasha in graveyard, bring it back. Obviously, it had already been successfully summoned, keep that in mind. I used the effect of Natasha, bring it back, target, took his 3k monster because it could now be targeted, and then I had Natasha that can negate for ritual monsters. And then, for example, if I wanted to, and I was ritual summon, I could use Natasha again, get rid of Natasha for any ritual monster I wanted to, and then use Natasha's effect in graveyard. As long as I had another Cyber Angel in grave, I'd banish it, bring Natasha back, target the other monster he had, and then bring that way. I just didn't have a ritual play to make. But Natasha is so good. Like, the fact it's not once per turn, it is crazy good in this deck, so I highly recommend Natasha. I'm considering putting it up to 2, but it's not really a power play card, that's the downside to it. Moving on our rituals, we played the 2 Herald of Perfection and the 1 Seraphia, Queen of the Dragons. Now, Herald, obviously quite straightforward, very, very powerful card, negging your opponent card effect every time, as long as you've got enough fairies, especially with Ben 10. So if you use this with Ben 10, you banish the spell, bring Ben 10 back, and then Ben 10 gets you a search. And it combos off massively well with Zephyr. So Zephyr is, what you've got to remember is, during the end phase, if this card was ritual summoned this turn, or a light monster was sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard this turn, while this card was facing on the field, you can activate one of these effects. Draw 2 cards, ditch 1, discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand, or add a light monster from your graveyard to your hand. So what you do is, if you've got Herald, you would then summon Seraph out. Seraph would draw 2, ditch 1, and hopefully you've drawn into 2, or you've got like multiple fairy monsters in your hand. You then negate with Herald of Perfection, and then during your opponent's end phase, you use Seraph's effect again to either rip from their hand, bring a light monster back, or again, draw 2, ditch 1. So you're able to burn through your deck as well. Very, very good kind of play combo. I was trying to limit the size of this deck as best as I possibly could, and in doing so, I've had to lose certain cards that I wish were in it, like Call of the Grave in the main and Terraform in the main. But still, Seraph is very, very powerful. And I've kind of left it at 1 because it's not great at 2 because it can search it off a pre-pep, so 1 was more than enough. Then you've got your Triple Magi, very standard on that one. And then the incantations, I've got 2 Candle, 2 Talismander, 2 Pen, and 2 Book. Now, obviously, you can change these up if you wanted to. You can go for 3 Candle, 3 incantations, and all that stuff. Having 2 and 2 was quite nice because I was be able to bring like the ritual spells back from the grave, even though they've got banish effects. Being able to loop those back, then use and ritual summon again and have more protection with more monsters on board was very, very useful. I've then got the 2 Cyber Petite Angels and the 2 brand new one, which is the best new card from the set, and that is Cyber Egg Angel. So, Petite Angel is quite straightforward. If it's summoned, you add a Cyber Angel monster or Machine Angel ritual from your deck to your hand. And then Cyber Egg Angel is, if it's summoned, you add a Machine Angel spell or spell, or 1 Ritual Sanctuary from your deck to your hand. So Ritual Sanctuary is very, very good, which is why we don't have Terraforming. This card is like insane. So then I'll move on to the spells to show you exactly the Ritual Sanctuary. So we play triple Ritual Sanctuary. Again, very, very cool cards. You discard 1 spell card. So if any of your spells ever become dead, or you want them in the grave, or the ritual spell or the monster's already been used, get rid of them, and then you get to add a light ritual monster or ritual spell card. And then the second effect is one of the best effects. So you can shuffle any number of spell cards from your graveyard into the deck. So that's part of its cost. Then target 1 light fairy monster in your graveyard whose level equals the number of cards you shuffled into the deck. So 9 times out of 10 you're going to be targeting one of your Petite Angels. And then you get special summon it. Now if that gets called around grave, not really the end of the world because you've put stuff back into the deck and you kind of maintain your resources. So Ritual Sanctuary is very, very cool, and now we have additional ways to search it. If you want to go more focused on this, of course use Terraformings. We've then got triple Machine Angel Ritual, again quite straightforward on that one. I'll take you through the ritual spells first. Double Dawn of the Herald, 1 Machine Angel Absolute Ritual. I don't like this one because it has to be exact. So you tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or shuffle fairy or warrior type monsters from your graveyard into deck. So that's the best thing about it, but their levels have to equal exact. So it's very, pick and choose. And then of course the 1 Hymn of Light. We've then got, of course, triple pre-prep, can search you out your Dawn of the Herald and the Hymn of Light. It can become dead, but that's where obviously Ritual Sanctuary comes in, and of course, both with the shuffle effect and discard effect. Triple pre-prep, searching out your Herald, searching out your Ben 10s, searching out your Seraphs, always good. And then for the last 2 cards, Incarnated Machine Angel and 1 Merciful Machine Angel. Again, I didn't think these were that great. This is nice for a little bit of draw power, but if you're going with the Seraph, you can use and abuse that a lot more. And then the Incarnated is not great. I very rarely used and abused it today. If anything, you could argue that you could take these out and either bump up your Seraph, bring another Seraph in there, or you can put like Terraformings or Call by the Graves. It really depends on what angle you want to go with. You could put a Krista in if you wanted to as well, but I kind of like siding that in. Now for the extra, in this deck you really do not need to worry too much about, purely because it's very rare you'll go into it and sometimes you can lock yourself out of it. So you just need the staples. Do not worry about the cost of this. These can be as cheap or as expensive as you want. So you've got your 2 hit Possengins. These of course give all your light monsters extra 500 attack and defense. Underclock, Cerberus, double Nightmare Phoenix, because you haven't got a lot to deal with back row. Of course, you've got the Izani to send back row, but being able to pop is very, very good. And of course, you have dead cards in hand, you can get rid of them as well. You just want to keep your fairies. Summon's Hawk, if you do feel like it, putting 3 of your fairies together and then using the effect to summon out a Petite Angel from deck or anything like that, by all means. Unicorn to spin back. Borreload, Borrelsword, don't need these, they're staples, you know, I've got them, I can use them. That's pretty much it. They are very, very, you know, you can go Bomber Dragon if you want to and protect your stuff with your spells. These are irrelevant, very rare that you'll go into the 4, but just in case you do. The XYZs, you've got your Sky Cavalry, one of the better rank 2s in my opinion, so that's why I've chosen to use that one. The one, Photon Strike Bowser, again, one of the better rank 6. If you've not got the fairies in hand, but you've got 2 rank 6 you want to make, 2 level 6s that you want to overlay, so like 2 heralds, overlay into this. This gives you a nice little negate, and then an inflict of 1,000 damage. Rank 4s, Cowboy to win you a game, should you get 2 Manjus on board, very, very rare. Tornado Dragon to deal with back row again, and Exton Knight. Like I said, these can be pretty much anything. The only cards I would say you probably must have in your extra deck are possibly those 4 there. You know, there's no reason not to have these, are only a couple of quid each. Put in another Phoenix, put in another Cerberus if you want to, put in an Underclock Taker. Entirely up to you on how you'd want to do that on ratios. I went into my extra deck once today, and that was just to go into Unicorn to deal with back row. That is actually it. That's all you need to worry about it for. But again, I found this deck very, very fun. I would like to tweak a bit more with it. You can play the stick and chairs or the scepter and chairs in it if you want. That means you can go with more ranks. But what you've got to remember is if you've got any of the incantation on board, you're locked out of the extra deck. So you don't want to make your extra deck, you know, a staple kind of thing. Like, it's nice to use the chairs and sticks to get like 3 if not 4 monsters on board, and you've got an instant link 4 or instant link 3. You've just got to be very, very careful. I mean, I don't think it's as important as some people might see it as being. So the extra deck, do not worry about it. Always have one just in case the odd scenarios came out. So in one of my games today, it was a rogue game. It was the first one, and someone pulled a gravity bind on me. I was just like, yeah, I don't think I can play because, like, unless I can get into my extra deck, these monsters can't attack or do anything. So I was able to kind of win that one anyway. But it was just an interesting scenario that I was kind of like, ah, yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, this is it for the Cyber Ranger deck profile. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gives you a couple of ideas on your one. I am still tweaking and playing around with it. Like I said, I don't think the new stuff is that important, so do not worry too much about it. Even trying to play pure Cyber Rangers, I don't think it's that important. Maybe if you play pure, they'll play this free, the draw spell at 2. Because it's a hard once per turn, you don't want to play it any more than that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dad here from Zephyr Wargames. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always guys, happy dueling.